Hey, John Casper from the Big Sky Conference here. We are so proud to be joined by former Southern Utah star, James Cowser. Played in the NFL, FCS all-time sack and tackles for loss leader. Man, what a pleasure to have you. You're kind of the first student athlete to be here in our new offices, so it's an honor to have you. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure to be here.
Man, so look back at your time at Southern Utah. What are some of your fondest memories about playing down in Cedar City and for the Thunderbirds and in the Big Sky?
Honestly, like when you say that, the first memory that comes to my mind is the day that we came back from like being down 25 and beat NAU for the championship. Like that was such a great moment. And then going back in the locker room and just celebrating with my coach and my teammates and just holding that trophy. Like that's honestly, because it's just the culmination, right? That was my senior year. We weren't very good when I signed on. And then to win the Big Skies championship was just like everything to me.
Awesome. We got to kind of know you because you came to our kickoff twice as a student athlete in Park City.
Yep.
When you were with the Raiders, we brought you back, had you speak to the student athletes. What do you remember about that, and what kind of experience was that for you to be back as the mentor?
It was cool. It was fun, like knowing what they had been through, because I mean everything was new to me. Just like going up, I had just been a rookie in the NFL. Like nothing was super familiar. So going back and like kind of having experience and knowledge was fun, and then being able to like talk to the guys and just be like, hey, look, this is what I was worrying about. Like, this is what the people were saying, but this is how I was feeling. This is how I addressed this stuff, and this is what happened. Like, I hope that you guys can learn from me and hopefully realize that you're not alone and you can do this.
Cool. You've been in the NFL recently. Unfortunately, you're not right now. We hope to see you back soon. But talk about the mindset and it takes to get there, especially you were not drafted, which stunned me. Two of the guys on your defense were drafted that year, Miles and LaShawn, but you're not drafted. Talk about the mindset and the focus and just the work it takes to go from undrafted to make that roster.
I think you have to be ready to work. Like I was so mad and like such a chip on my shoulders. I felt like I deserved to be there, but then at the same time, like it kind of felt like everyone's telling you don't, and so then you're going and you don't get any benefit of the doubt. Like the draft picks will get like all the leeway and you can't mess up and you make a play and it still looks bad and you're getting in trouble and like I did exactly what he did. So it's just a lot of like taking your ego and throwing it away and just being like, look, I believe in who I am. I believe in like what I've learned and work ethic, and I'm just gonna play it out and see how it goes if I do everything I believe to be right.
We've got a lot of great football players in our league right now, and they're probably going to go through the same thing that you went through. But you're 29 years old. You've been in the league for 3-4 years. What would you tell the younger version of yourself, or what would you tell these guys that are coming out to give them advice?
You're an elite athlete, and believe it. Like people want to hate on like smaller schools like Southern Utah. They want to tell you you're not good because you didn't go to a Clemson. But the fact of the matter is, like, you got to this point for a reason. You can play football. It's just a game that you've been playing since you were a kid. You can succeed, so just believe in yourself. Like, ignore the noise sort of thing.
I mean, you go up against some of the best from the SEC, from the Big Ten. But how good is Big Sky football compared to those schools?
It's good. Really, it's good. I mean, it's just, like, I got sacks in the NFL like I did in Big Sky. Like, you can win at any level. It's just sometimes you just don't go to places with like all the big fancy money, sort of say. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. It's very comparable. I mean, granted, like you might get like a couple freaks, like people that are just outliers, right? But like you can't count outliers in any statistical sort of thing. So it's just, can the base play? And yes.
So you do a lot off the field. You've been involved with the NFL China initiatives. But we've seen video of you, through the NFL and through the Oakland Raiders and back to your time in Cedar City. Why is working in the community important to you?
I remember as a kid sitting in my like auditorium and Mark Eaton walked through the door.
You can't miss that guy.
Exactly.
He's like 7'6".
Yeah. And I remember being like, oh my goodness, like who is this dude? Just being so starstruck. And then they brought in the next year. They brought in another Utah Jazz player who I had no idea who he was. And I still don't know who he was, but I had that same feeling, right?
Yeah.
And when he talked to us, I remember listening and caring and being like, okay, if I was starstruck as a kid, like maybe I can like get through to a kid and inspire him to play sports and to be active and be healthy.
Awesome. That was probably John Stockton. He probably didn't even know it, right?
I don't know John Stockton, that's for sure. My first sports memory is Jeff Hornacek hitting a 3 in the playoffs.
When? You're a lot younger than I am.
6. Yeah.
So, I mean, we saw a little bit of you on Hard Knocks. We saw a little more of Keelan Doss, who is a Big Sky guy. But unfortunately, man, the NFL is such a business, and this isn't the first time you've been there where you get released. And so tell us what you're doing right now in the hopes that if it's not the Raiders, someone's going to call. I mean, there's injuries every week in the NFL, and that call could happen in 5 minutes. It could happen next week, or unfortunately, it may not happen.
It may never happen. Exactly. Like, I've been home before, but I mean, I just try to stay in shape. Like, I believe in my work ethic, and I believe in my trainers, and so I know I've gone back in shape, ready to go. So I just kind of sticking with that. But then the hardest part's the mental part. Just sticking to it, because it's hard to be hoping for someone to get hurt so you can succeed. Like, that's the difficult part, but that's kind of what you need to happen. So you just gotta kind of trust the process and believe in yourself, really.
Yeah. Well, man, we wish you the best of luck getting back to the NFL. But if it doesn't happen, always know you can stop by and visit us. And we know that great things are going to happen to you with whatever you decide to do down the future. So, James, we really appreciate you coming in, stopping into our offices today, and taking some time with us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.